Even though we don't know any NASCAR drivers personally, that doesn't mean that nobody does. In all likelihood, our competitors are the ones who are most familiar with us. So, do you know why Kevin Harvick is the most controversial driver in NASCAR? Here today on Racing Rush, we will do some digging on Kevin Harvick and what other NASCAR drivers really think about him. But before we begin, do subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Harvick has been the most controversial driver. That's because he has part of his conflicts with other drivers. He won the World Cup Series in 2014. He also won the Xfinity Series in 2001 and 2006. And he won the Daytona 500 in 2007. Harvick has won 9 Cup Series races at Phoenix Raceway, which is more than anybody else. Harvick is currently third all-time in NASCAR history, behind Richard Petty and Kyle Busch, with 121 wins across all national series. He is tied for 9th all-time with 60 wins in the Cup Series. He has been driving in the Cup Series longer than anyone else. He started racing in NASCAR in 1992. He is one of only 6 drivers who have won championships in both the Cup Series and Xfinity Series. He is also one of only 36 drivers to have won a race in all 3 of NASCAR's national series. Harvick used to own the racing team Kevin Harvick Incorporated, which ran cars in the Xfinity Series from 2004 to 2011, and the Truck Series from 2001 to 2011. He has been called the closer and Happy Harvick by the news media. Also, we know that it's not only Chase Elliott who hates him, but there are more likely others, and Kyle Larson now adds to the discussion. During this September race at Bristol, the 2 people from Hendrick Motorsports talked about how the current car's part fails. And here's a hint, they agree with Harvick, because there were even more problems with parts breaking down in the short track at Bristol over the weekend. Larson said, he thinks when they did the wheel force testing here, every manufacturer had problems, and it showed up today. So he hates that it happened, but that's what you get when you buy spec parts. The 2021 Cup Series champion seems to blame the new parts made just for the next generation car. Elliott, on the other hand, isn't too surprised by the problems with the car. He said it was exactly where he thought it might be. He added more problems by saying power steering problems that had been talked about. There are also problems with the tires, so yeah. Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott, who are bitter rivals, both don't like what NASCAR just said. After what happened with Harvick and Busch and what the Hendrick brothers said, it's only natural that the fans were angry. Kevin Harvick has not exactly won over the support of the NASCAR Cup Series fans thus far in the upcoming 2021 season. However, it was not the same scenario after a result of the argument he got with Chase Elliott, who drives for Hendrick Motorsports and is the defending champion. At the Bristol Motor Speedway in 2021, the beginning of their rivalry was marked by a collision between them on the track. After the tragedy, many people mistakenly believed that things had returned to their normal state. Sadly, they were incorrect, as the cup race that took place at Charlotte Roval demonstrated. Elliott's widespread appeal among the spectators is another factor that works in Harvick's favor as an opponent. In point of fact, he was given the title of People's Champion throughout the 2017 season. The nickname was given to him after a furious post-race argument he had with Denny Hamlin in Martinsville, which is where it first appeared. It appeared that Hamlin caused Elliott to crash while he was leading the race, which infuriated the spectators to a great extent and gave Kyle Busch the opportunity to compete in the championship. Therefore, given Elliott's popularity, Harvick was engaged in an uphill struggle at the front of the popularity contest. Before getting into it with Elliott, he had already performed another behavior that NASCAR followers regarded as highly offensive to the sport. To be more specific, he was insulting Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is the son of the renowned Dale Earnhardt. Despite the fact that Dale Jr. did not have much success on the track, he was known as the first People's Champion before Elliott. He stated, "Earnhardt hasn't even been near to being our most successful driver. For my part, he believes that Dale Jr. has played a significant role in slowing down the expansion of NASCAR due to the fact that he has such a massive fan base and is able to reach locations that none of the rest of us are able to access." Throughout his career, the Stewart-Haas driver has undoubtedly earned the enmity of a good number of people. They have tangled on the race course quite a few times, with the aforementioned Kyle Busch being one of their opponents. In 2011, at Darlington, both he and Busch were involved in a collision that also involved Clint Bowyer. Kevin Harvick's anger led him to express a desire to give Kurt Busch a punch in the nose, especially after Busch said that he was a friend of Harvick. Coming off a 2022 season in which he won 2 races and qualified for the payoffs, It's clear that Harvick hasn't lost touch behind the wheel, despite being in his late 40s at this point. Harvick's season came to an end after the first round of the playoffs. He concluded the year with 9 finishes in the top 5 and 17 finishes in the top 10, which were also his lowest totals in those categories since 2013 and 2012, respectively. With 60 victories throughout the course of his career, Harvick is presently tied for 9th place on the list of all-time NASCAR winners. Harvick won the Cup Series in 2014. What are your thoughts on Kevin Harvick's 2022 season? Let us know in the comments below, and do subscribe to our channel for further updates on NASCAR. Anyone who says NASCAR drivers aren't aggressive enough hasn't seen Danny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe get into a fight on the Indianapolis road course. Kevin Harvick wrecked Chase Elliott in Charlotte, or any of the other 100 or so late race bumps and bruises that have happened this century. But if there's anywhere besides the track where drivers are much more aggressive, it's probably in conference rooms when they're trying to sign sponsorship deals, which are the lifeblood of every NASCAR team. Even though he hasn't won a race in the 2021 Cup Series yet, Harvick just beat Kurt Busch, the member of Michael Jordan's 23XI racing team, on the cash front. Major sponsorship for 5 races, not to mention associate level status for the rest of the season, is a big deal. This is because these deals, not prize money, are what keep teams running. Aside from that, Gear Wrench's decision to back Harvick strongly suggests that he plans to keep driving after next season. The deal could be a great example of how there are moving parts in NASCAR than just the pistons in an engine. Here's what we mean by that. No matter what the negotiations look like behind the scenes, the Gear Wrench deal is a big win for Harvick and Stewart-Haas Racing. We'll know if Busch still has hard feelings if he tries to find the number 4 Ford in the same way that Harvick tried to find Elliott on the Charlotte Roval. It's not Kyle or Chase on only the list, but also Scott Miller. Miller was upset with Harvick for criticizing NASCAR's work on safety and for saying that next-gen cars have crappy-ass parts. Harvick said harsh things about NASCAR's safety efforts and said that the parts in next-gen cars are crappy-ass. Miller on Sirius XM NASCAR radio about Kevin Harvick's claim that NASCAR didn't do enough to fix problems with next-gen cars. It's about as far from the truth as you can get to say that NASCAR doesn't care. He knows NASCAR really does care. Along the way, they've worked on different solutions for different things that seem to maybe be the cause. They still have work to do, that much is clear. He kept going that there's a lot of work going on and the people in the industry are working together a lot to figure it out. They need to find out what's going on quickly, of course. The first season of Next Gen Cars has met some of its goals, but it has also raised safety concerns that have nothing to do with the fires. In addition to Kevin Harvick's car catching a fire, several other Next Gen cars have caught fire this season. Alex Bowman's number 48 car caught fire at Darlington Raceway in May. Chris Buescher, number 17, and Joey Logano's number 22 both caught fire at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Chase Briscoe's number 14 car caught fire at Richmond Raceway. With all these speculations, we definitely know that Harvick has fans and haters, including the NASCAR world. So what have you decided? What do you want to be, his fan or hater? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked today's video, then do check out more videos like this on our channel. Also, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more updates.